Good morning, Michael. How are you?
We are doing absolutely phenomenal. Thank you so much, Alana, for having me on the podcast. I appreciate it loads.
Of course. No, thanks for joining me. I'm so excited. Be casually, I heard you mention like, oh, let's do a pod when we were hanging out at the beach, and I was like, okay, let's do it. Why not? So I'm so excited to learn more about your story and learn kind of what you're doing, things you're passionate about. So I guess we'll start off. First question: Who is Michael? I know it's a loaded question,
Yeah,
but if you had
yeah,
to give
yeah.
us a little excerpt.
Definitely a pretty loaded question. But Michael, I would say right now and first and foremost is just like a family member. So
Mm,
uh,
yeah.
like I'm a huge family guy. Love my mom and I love my brother. They're huge motivators for me. And then following up with that, definitely a friend. I love to be there for the people in my lives, whether it be friendships or relationships, anything that falls in between. That's super important to me. Just kind of a way to connect people and then also get to know people. And after that, personal trainer. I absolutely love my position. It's my career path now, which is super, super awesome to say, coming from where I started too. So yeah, that, and then also super big gym enthusiast, fitness enthusiast, sports person. I love playing sports. I watch little sports, but not too much, not too crazy. Watched the last NFL season, which was fun. Hosted a Super Bowl party, but
More fun to play it than like watch, in my opinion. I'm
yes,
like, I don't really understand what's going on anyway. But
I
that's honestly, that's so on brand when you say you're a friend and family guy. I'm not even kidding. For those of you who don't know, I met Michael, like a couple months ago, maybe,
I think
right?
so. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Like
think about
2, 3 months ago or something.
that sounds right.
And it was oh, nice to meet you. You know how everyone's kind of like, let's hang out. That's cool. Literally a week later, Michael's like, so you guys want to go to the beach? Like thrown in this group chat with like 15 people I don't know. Like, let's go all go hang out to the beach. So I think that's like so on brand for who you are, even just like in the 2 months I've known you. I know you said family is a huge thing, your mom and your brother. Do you mind sharing a little bit about them, kind of who they
Yeah,
are and how they've shaped who you are?
absolutely, absolutely. So definitely got to start with my mom for sure. She's the person that raised me fully. Even though I did have a father, he wasn't as present as he should have been in my opinion.
Yeah,
But
fair, fair.
yeah, he wasn't as present. And so my mom kind of took the helm of both being a father figure and a mother figure in one go, which is really, really
Mm,
tough for someone to do. But she was able to do it pretty well. She stayed like loving and caring while also stern and strict and guiding at the same time, if that makes sense.
yeah.
So yeah, it was really, really, I'm really, really fortunate to have someone like her to inspire me to like work hard, work for success, um, but also make sure that I find ways to like care for people. 'Cause she grew up on a ranch
Mm,
and it was a guest ranch, so she would always be hosting parties and hosting guests and doing all these like super, super fun stuff. So like I kind of got that from her too, to kind of build relationships, enjoy people, get to know them, and also hopefully do it in like a super, super deep and passionate way, so that
hmm.
I feel like I have an impact on somebody's life too. At the end
Yeah.
of the day, like listening to people and their stories and getting to know them on a level that you can't often is just super, super important.
Right? No, that's so fun. That's what I feel like I get to do with this is like just sit and ask people to yap about themselves for like an hour, which is so cool. And because you're right, so many times people don't get like a space or an opportunity to like, let me like actually learn about you. Like I know we're friends, but like, like who are you? Like what are you passionate about? What makes you you? So
Yeah.
that's fun. And then you said your brother as well.
Yeah, yes, my brother too. But first off, it's super awesome that you get to do podcasts too. Like
Yeah.
that's wonderful. That's
Uh,
wonderful. It's like taking the step and doing something you love is a big thing for me. But yes,
yeah.
my brother, he is, oh gosh, he's such an amazing person. He is so he's a little person, right? So he has
Hmm.
dwarfism. And we're actually going to the convention this year in San Diego,
Yeah.
which you're
Uh-huh.
welcome to come to. Everyone's welcome
I
to come
know.
to.
I know.
Yeah, so he's a little person and he's super, super, I don't want to say like he's inspiring in a sense, but in the
Mm,
fact that he's able to push through so many different challenges on a day-to-day basis, it makes you like look around and change your perspective a little bit on your challenges and things like that.
mm,
But I also want to be kind of careful at the same time because a lot of people with whether it's be disabilities or dwarfism don't want to be seen as like inspiring figure because they
Yeah.
want to also be seen as just like a normal individual. And so that's something that I've kind of like tried to practice balancing out, especially with my brother. And
Hmm.
you know, it's I think the best thing that I could do as a brother for him is just be like, yo, if you can do it, you're gonna do it. But if there's
Right.
something that you need help with, then I'm there for you 100% of the time, you know. So
Hmm.
yeah, he's super inspiring person. He's absolute joy to be around. He knows how to like he inspires me to get to know people on an extremely deep level for sure. Just
Yeah.
because the way that he talks to people or like analyzes people is so impressive. He'll get down to the nitty gritty right away and then start like making jokes about it, just testing the lines and the limits and
Hmm.
seeing what your reaction will be and what type of person you are too. So he's just a really awesome
Wait,
person.
that's so fun. I worked with one of my best friends, worked at a camp with people with disabilities, and she kind of always says the same thing is like how aware and observant people with a different ability can see the world and how they will push you in that and
Yeah.
make you step into a new zone of like comfort. And I
Yes.
think that's so cool. It is. It makes you like look at the world and your perspective totally shifts of like, okay, like my problems that I'm like blowing up, like it is not that deep. Like at that, like my
Yeah.
sister loves saying that. Like it's just not that deep. Like it
Yeah.
really isn't. Like if you put it in a
Totally.
perspective. And so that's so cool that you got that growing up. How has your guys' relationship changed? Like from being kids to like now being adults?
When we were younger, we were you could definitely tell that we were like brothers. We'd always butt heads. But today, to like nowadays, it's more like we'll come home, make jokes with each other, and just say hi and everything like that. We do live together. He's
Mm-hmm.
fine to live with, but you know, his siblings,
uh,
sibling
yeah,
vibes.
right.
But in comparison to when we were younger, it would be more like butting heads or like you know just classic brother stuff, maybe roughhousing here and there for fun and chilling
Mm-hmm.
out. And but always the one thing that I always remember is that when we were younger, he was kind of like he's my other half in a sense. So
Yeah.
we would always be together, and my mom and my father, they would always like sometimes get into like little fights or arguments here and there. Nothing crazy, of course, but
Yeah.
we would always be just chilling out in the back of the car or whatever, making jokes with each other and being there for each other in those moments where you know where it just felt like we needed to push that aside. And I
Yeah.
think that was such a big thing. He watches out for me in like an emotional sense, so he'll
Mm.
always be like, oh, like make sure you take care of yourself emotional wise, make sure you don't get you know too overworked or stressed or this that and the other. And I'm on the other side physical. I'm like, dude, make sure you get outside, train, work hard.
That's
So
literally my dynamic with my
yeah.
little sister.
So
Yep.
it's an amazing dynamic because we're kind of
Mm.
not necessarily opposites, but we complement each other in so many different ways that
Yeah.
it kind of pushes us to be better too.
Hmm.
It's
Yeah.
awesome.
That is awesome. That's fun. You said your brother has to keep you back a little bit from overworking and doing that. I
Yeah.
do know you own your own personal training company. So what does that look like to balance that and like maybe take his advice sometimes and like live it out with
Yeah.
balancing
I
work and
think
fun?
one of the things that he actually mentioned really recently to me was I was like, "Oh yeah, what did you?" He's like, "What did you do this weekend?" I was like, "Oh, I went surfing just on my own, without anyone, and I go out there and just take time to be by myself." Because the profession that I've kind of landed myself in requires a lot of both physical and emotional capacity.
Hmm.
And yes, you are training, but you're also like taking someone's life on a day-to-day basis and things can change so much for them, so you have to kind of be there both in the positive scenarios and in the negative scenarios. Like say they're having a really bad
Mm.
day,
Yeah.
you have to be capable of not necessarily turning a bad day around because that's not always feasible, but
Hmm.
trying to add a sense of like, okay, we're presented with this bad day, how can we shift our perspective to something positive and shift our energy into something positive so that maybe we can feel better in the future, regardless
Hmm.
if it's the same day next day or next year. All those
Yeah.
workouts compound over time. And then same thing on the positive side, like there's nothing wrong with making a really good day even better. So
Yeah, that's true.
uh
It's true.
so yeah, having that kind of compounding long lasting effect is good. But yeah, back to your question. So he asked me, he's like, it's good that you're doing things for yourself and like getting out there and enjoying yourself. And that allows me the space and time to kind of take care of myself mentally, emotionally, and physically and see where I'm at personally. So
Mm-hmm.
that when I go into my job or into friendships or whatever, I can be there for that person in my fullest capacity. And I think that's a super, super important thing to be able to do just in general and in any relationship, friendship, partnership, whatever it may be. So,
Yeah. No, I totally agree. That's awesome.
yeah.
How did you get, I know you said you kind of landed yourself in personal training because I know you studied economics at UCLA. So how'd you go from high school, Michael, to studying at UCLA to personal training? What was that
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Yeah.
path?
So, as I was growing up, becoming financially literate and financially stable and also just stable in general was a big, big, major moving factor for me just
Mm-hmm.
because of my family's background and upbringing. Like having the instability in my parents' relationship was a big thing, big driving factor.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, it's not the best thing, but it also kind of put me in a position to take more responsibility and figure out how to like guide my actions to what I want. So
Yeah.
that's kind of how that happened in the beginning. I'm like, okay, I need to stick on this school path. I want to become financially literate. I want to do a major that's maybe applicable to anything. I still
Yeah.
use it to this day, whether it be my own investment portfolios or giving my friends some advice here and there. I'm not a financial advisor, by the way. I'm just
Oh,
gonna
like
put that out
everybody go to
there.
Michael for your
This is
financial
not
advice.
financial advice. Disclaimer. But yeah, no. So I kind of took that path and that mindset all the way up through high school. And even when I was 17 or 18 years old, that's kind of when I started working out. And I remember in the first year when I was younger, I was at this gym here where I live, and we went like I went in there. It was working out for about a year. Got to know everyone. Went up to the owner. I'm like, what does it take to become a personal trainer? And I should have taken
Mm.
that as my like, oh my gosh, something's
Yeah,
going off.
right? Right?
Like something's
Uh-huh.
going off. But when you're 17, 18, like 1500 for a personal training license, it's like, oh my gosh, it's
You're like,
like
no, I
I'm
can't do
life
it.
changing. I'm
Yeah.
signing up for the rest of my life. And also,
Uh,
of course, like outside influences, including family and friends, are like, want to just keep going with what you're doing right now and get it done, build a platform, build a base. And that honestly aligned with what my mindset was too at the time. Something stable, something consistent, at least for
mm-hmm.
right now, or having like the means to go back to something stable and consistent.
Yeah.
So yeah, I kept up with the same path. Kept, of course, working out, kept training, gaining experience and knowledge that way. And I landed myself in college. So I ended up
Mm-hmm.
going 2 years here at CC, and then it's like it was the worst moment ever. I was gonna transfer to UCSB, and
Uh-huh.
you know how they do the whole like you can guarantee your transfer there. I was like, okay, guarantee UCSB, and then apply everywhere else. And I got denied from UC Irvine before I got
Uh-huh.
accepted to UCLA. And when you're like on a stable path that whole time, you're like, okay, I should be able to get in somewhere that I want. Getting a rejection
Yeah.
letter from the place that you wanted to go the most for it was for business admin at UCI because
Mm-hmm.
is like, oh my god, it's done, it's over.
Yeah.
It's done.
Right?
I'm
Uh-huh.
wraps. I can't do it anymore.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, I got denied it. Then I got my acceptance letter to UCLA. I was like, all right, maybe this is where I'm supposed to be landing at.
Like, uh-huh. The
Uh,
switch is crazy,
yeah.
but you know.
So did my 2 years there. After 2 years at CC, and finished pretty strong. I'm happy with the grades that I got, and
Mm.
most importantly though is like the relationships that I've made. I've made so many good friendships that have grown me personally in
Mm-hmm.
ways that if they're even watching, they can't explain, and like I won't be able to ever explain, just because it's been so valuable to be around those types of people. So yeah, that was a huge thing, and I don't regret going to college or anything like that. Some people are like,
Mm-hmm.
oh, college isn't for me or this or that, but I think it gave me what I needed in that time, that sense of base and security,
Yeah.
and capability to do something like what I was doing while I was in college too, which was investment advisory. So I would actually commute. I would go Monday through Thursday for my classes, and then commute about an hour and a half back. go to work for two
No.
days, and then go back to LA, prep on
Uh-huh.
Sunday. That's like meal preps, just doing all the homework from the week, and
Right?
then trying to balance some social life, like maybe a dinner with friends or something like that.
Hmm.
But yeah, I was doing that, and it really kind of gave me a place to really lock and then become stable too. So after that, graduated, super, super fortunate, I made it, and came back to my hometown in SB and
Hmm.
absolutely love it here. And I started working for like full time for the company that was here in town. And I was like, oh man, it was about 3 months in, I want to say, or 4 months in, where you kind of start to get that feeling that you're like, maybe this isn't the right place for me,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh.
maybe this isn't. Maybe it's something that I'm still passionate about, whether it be the field of investment advisory and things like that. But is this environment the right place for me to grow right now? And I
Yeah.
came to the conclusion that it was no. So,
Hmm.
but I didn't really take a massive leap, like full time to zero time. I slowly was, communicating with my boss. I was like, I'm not as passionate anymore, but I still want to be here and be present to help, especially as I transition away. Go full
Hmm.
time to part time to quarter time. I can help transition. Find someone here for you.
Yeah.
But I want to do something for myself, especially while I'm in my 20s too.
Hmm. Yeah.
So yeah, I started. Let's see, came back here. It was craziest story. I wanted a chiropractor here in town, so
Uh-huh.
I was like, okay, I need a chiropractor to kind of keep that self care vibe going.
Right.
Because it's always helped
You're like,
me, so
uh-huh.
it's always helped me.
Yeah.
It doesn't help everyone. But started going there and kind of developed a relationship with him. And he's like, oh, we have a really small in office gym and we're looking for a trainer to fill that position. And I was like, you are now.
Uh-huh.
And he's like, yeah, you might be a great fit. I know you've been working out. And my mom actually used to go there and she was like, oh, she talks. She enjoys talking. So, or talking about her
Yeah.
kids because she's very proud of
Yeah.
them. And so she was talking to, she's like, yeah, he's, thinking about moving out of the investment space into personal training to him. And he's like, oh, well, that's interesting. I'll talk to him when he comes in next. So we talked, had a chat, and he's all like, yeah, I'd love for you to fill this space for me. I was like, all right, let's do it. So I got my certification. It was a 10-week course, got it done out of the way as quick as I could just so I could get started.
Hmm.
And yeah, started in there about, I want to say 2 years ago, 2.5 maybe now. I'd have to like look at the exact dates, but 2.5 years.
Yeah.
And then after that, started picking up more and more clients, just trying to like present in the space, provide a positive vibration for everyone.
Hmm.
And yeah, it sort of built up from there. And then after that, the chiropractor actually referred me to a client who was like, oh, I want to train at a different gym. And I was like, oh, cool, let's give it a go. So went into this other gym to introduce myself to the owner. Super, super awesome gym here in Santa Barbara. And I went in there, did like a full little interview. I'm like, oh, very nice to meet you. Like, it's great to be here. I'm stoked. I'm happy to be able to train my client here. He's like, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, also, by the way, are you looking for extra work? And I'm like,
You're
maybe.
like, am I? Yeah.
Yeah. So, and I'm a very like opportunistic person. Any opportunity
Mm.
I'm gonna try and go for it if I have some time and energy. So I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, let's do it. And what happened there is I became the manager of that gym and still am to this day. So I manage the gym, and then through that management position, I'm able to like talk with people who are signing up and things like that, and offer consultation sessions to them too.
Hmm.
So
Yeah.
uh,
Little
that kind of gets me a little
both
up,
hands.
yeah, a
Yeah.
little uplift with my
Uh-huh.
with my personal training business. And yeah, now I can happily say that I'm full time, um,
Hmm.
and shockingly like feeling stable both emotionally, financially, physically.
Uh-huh.
And it's of course because I'm making sure to get my rest in, but at the same time, it's
Hmm.
like I'm doing something extremely fulfilling
Yeah.
for me and for what I enjoy doing, which is like making personal connection with somebody, and then also
Hmm.
helping them become the best version of themselves. And I also know, I not that I know, but I really, really believe that taking care of your physical base, whether it be, you know, just your body is a temple, so you want to treat it like a temple. Keep
Hmm.
it clean, keep it nice, make sure it's strong and stable, so that when the winds and rain and the hurricanes come and the problems come, that you can take on those challenges without having to
Yeah.
worry about, your base. You can focus on taking back some self-esteem impact like that too.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's kind of how I landed into personal training, which is phenomenal.
No, that's awesome. That's so cool. I was just talking to a girl about a week ago, and she also was doing one of these things in her career, and she was like, I would never have guessed, but I also, like you're saying, when you're 17, you should have been like, oh, ding, 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 ding. But
Yeah.
it's like you get there eventually. Sometimes it just takes a little bit longer.
No,
But
absolutely.
that's so cool. I think that going in to personal training can, like, it's, to me it feels like such a jump from investment banking, but again, you circle back to like, wait, what would 17-year-old Michael have done? Like all of that. Do you see now what you're doing in personal training affect, like you said, like your financial health, your emotional health? Like how does that kind of trickle down
Yeah.
now that you're doing,
Do I see it
like,
affect
yeah, like in a more, I guess, like in a positive
in a
sense, because
positive?
you were
Yeah.
saying how your body's a temple.
Gotcha. Yes. Yes.
Hmm.
I think I do find now that it's affecting me in very positive aspects in every sense, in every case of my life, which is like I'm so grateful for and so thankful for.
Hmm.
Um, I feel that every dollar that I earn or every minute that I spent is spent on something that it's like just for me personally.
Hmm.
And what I personally want to do is provide a service to people. Make
Yeah.
sure that's a really high quality service.
Hmm.
And by doing that and having that kind of base, it makes me feel like, okay, every minute that I spent on this earth and every time that I'm with a client, I'm really, really benefiting them in a way. And that gives me in my life and outside of my life. And I'm like, I get to the end of my week and I'm like, did I earn my shower? Did I earn
Yeah.
this,
Uh-huh.
this drink? Did I earn this food, whatever I'm eating? And it's like, yes, you did, because you had a
Mm.
huge impact on somebody's life
Yeah.
who I don't feel like I'm trading my life force, if that makes sense. Cause I know some people kind of
Hmm.
get stuck in that ongoing loop where they're like, feel like they're giving themselves away. It
Yep.
feels like I'm enriching my person by being around so many wonderful people,
Hmm.
and also by continuously like providing a positive environment for the people around me. And even if I'm going through something negative on my end, it goes the opposite direction too, because people can tell when you're going through something. They'll tell when
Yep.
something's off a little bit.
Uh-huh. Right. You're
So
like, vibes doesn't feel a little.
yeah, going
But
into a
yep.
session or going into the gym, they're like, did you just get your heart broken, or did
Yeah.
you? I'm like, nah,
Uh-huh.
just it's just one of those days. I'm like tired, trying to fight for it.
Hmm.
Like, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're here. We're in this together. And also
Hmm.
at the gym that I manage too, every time I go in, it's like, yo, great to see you. Big smiles all around. And it's like, okay, that gives me momentum to keep going to. So yeah, it's affected
Hmm.
every aspect of my life in a super positive way. Um,
Yeah. Do you have any like specific story that was super rewarding? Because I'm like working with people where you're like, yeah, this is it. Like, this is what I'm supposed to do. You have like a specific story
oh yeah,
of anyone?
I have tons right now. It
Yeah.
gets better and better each day.
Yeah.
Let's see. Recently, I had somebody who was yeah, let's just go ahead and meet and see how things work out. I don't know if I really want a guy trainer or girl trainer. Like, it's gonna be a really hard project, really tough. And I was like, cool, let's do it. Let's meet up. Let's see what happens. And now she's working with me like 3 days a week, and she's like really
Yeah.
progressing towards her goals and
Hmm.
strength. And she ended up going from like not working out to putting in a home gym really quickly.
Like,
So
uh-huh.
that's a big thing. And then
Yeah.
I have a 72-year-old client who is an absolute unit. She is amazing.
Yeah.
She
What?
does lunges, squats. We're working on her first
That's
push up
awesome.
recently, but she fell and had a fracture, which
Mm,
happens.
yeah.
She's like, I'll be back soon. I'm healing up right now. I'm like, all right, hold on. You got to
Uh-huh.
rest up. We're going to do some PT for
Yeah.
it.
Uh-huh.
And then I also train one of my favorite clients. He's a 17-year-old guy.
Hmm.
And, you start out of the gym like, oh, I just want to do it for the aesthetics and all this and the
Right.
look.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But it's great to see, like, it's great for me to have an impact on his training at such a young age, because I can form super, super healthy habits really. And healthy
Yeah.
habits in a sense of like, make sure you rest, make sure when we're training hard, we're training hard. When we're training, we're keeping our form, we're keeping our technique, we're keeping our time. And remember that this is meant to be like a challenge.
Hmm.
Life will always have its challenges. So make sure how to handle that situation one repetition at a time, practicing the form, practicing where you fail, learn from your
Hmm.
failures, and then apply that for future, whether it be classes or life or relationships, friendships, this, that, and the other. So I'm super,
Yeah.
super happy to work with him. And I also just have like so many clients from so many different backgrounds that it's just like words can't even express how fortunate I am to be able to add one person who I saw coming into the gym every single day when I was managing.
Hmm.
And he would come in every single day, see him putting in the work, but he's like staying at the same weight, or, form would dip here and there. I was like
Yeah.
working out one time and training. I was like, yo, what's going on, man? My name's Michael. Nice to meet you. I see you all the time. You're putting in work. I love it. That's great. And then I asked him, I was like, is there a reason that you're doing it this way? Maybe you have an injury or something that I don't know. And like, oh, no, no. Do you have any tips for me? I'm like, well, do I? I was just kidding.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, yeah. Try it this way and see how you feel, see how you feel the next day. Pay attention to how you feel
Hmm.
throughout the exercise and the next day, and then come back to me and let me know. So I was like, try full range, go really deep into the stretch, and focus on your technique. And he came back the next day. He's like, dude, I loved it so much. I feel so much better. I feel like I made some progress. I'm like, let's go. That's
Hmm.
all I want to see at the end of the day. Um, so yeah, and then over time, he and I developed a great friendship, and he ended up being still one of my clients to this day. He's an awesome person, and I always like make jokes with him too. He's a quantum physicist.
What does
I
that
know,
even
I
mean?
know. So I'm like,
Like,
I already knew that his work ethic was just beyond me.
yeah.
I was like,
Uh-huh.
I see him in the gym every single day after work, and I'm like, even to this day, I'm like, dude, you need to take a deload, take a break. He's like,
Yeah.
those don't exist. It doesn't exist in my
Uh,
vocabulary. I'm like, all right, well,
that
uh,
literally sounds like something a quantum
yeah,
physicist? I don't even know what the word would
yeah.
be.
He's a
Like,
great person though, so
uh-huh.
that person's amazing. I'm trying to think what else. I'm working with somebody who's recovering from addiction, and he is killing
Hmm.
it. So amazing. So
That's
he's
awesome.
like, dude, I feel my lungs are opening up more. I feel amazing. Um, feel stronger, and it's only been like a couple weeks. I'm like, it's really quick. You got to make sure you take care of your
Hmm.
body, and everything kind of follows up after that. Your emotional sense clears up, your mentality changes, your outlook on yourself changes. Wow, I really am
Yeah.
more capable than I think I was. So that's why I do what I do.
No, 100%. I feel like even post COVID, I feel like so many people got into working out because it releases the dopamine, all that in your body besides like obviously the physical whatever, but you said we're not training necessarily for aesthetics, but
Yes, yes.
like when you said the story about the 72-year-old woman, I took a Pilates class, but I took it in the middle of the day. Of course, everybody in that class was like at least 60 and older,
Mhm.
and it was like such a good reminder to me of like I immediately texted one of my friends and I was like, go take a class during lunch. Like
Yeah.
it was the coolest thing to be like, these ladies are literally like my grandmother's age and doing headstands and the splits, and like that's the goal, is to be like active in a longer age, to have that like longevity, to be doing squats at 72. Like that's so cool that you can see that. And then again, like the 17-year-old, like giving them healthy habits, because there's so much bad that can be spread in the fitness world industry. So I was
Mhm.
wondering, have you ever, like, what's the biggest fitness myth that you wish people would maybe stop listening to, or one
Oh
that you're like,
man,
you hear a lot?
it's a myth that you have to work out like 6 or 7 days every single day per week. That's the biggest thing,
Yeah.
and especially working out, especially in the beginning, you don't want to jump right into it. And I tell that to all of my
Mm.
like clients coming in. I'm like, we're trying to build a healthy habit that's going to spread to something else and more throughout our life too. I don't want to
Mm-hmm.
start off slow, so you don't have to jump into 6 1-hour sessions um, each week, because it's like, adding something that quick, especially on top of work and on top of friends and social lives and things like that too, it kind of can get a lot really quickly.
Mm-hmm.
So you want to find something that you can stay disciplined and consistent with and also stay motivated with too.
Yeah.
And so like even starting out 2 full body workouts for an hour, like with good technique and good form and intensity, will start to make changes rapidly. And
Mm-hmm.
even jumping up from like 2 to 3 full bodies can be a lot for a lot of people too. So, and
Yeah.
that's something that I've learned myself. Over
Mm-hmm.
time, you can see that if you don't take the rest that you need to let your body kind of heal and develop and get stronger, you can see that your body will stop reacting to certain exercises and certain consistencies because it's A, gotten used to it, or B, it's not given the time to heal enough
Yeah.
as well. So that would be probably the biggest fitness myth. You don't need to train all the time, but when you do train, you need to make sure that you're training to a capacity that stimulates whatever change you're trying to make.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I've heard people call it like intentional training.
Mm-hmm.
Like people are just like, oh, just don't go to the gym to go to the gym. Like go in with like you said, like that goal in mind. That what are you going for? Pushing yourself
Yeah.
to like exertion, I guess. So you're kind of, but I guess it is different depending on what your goal is. But
Totally.
besides the point.
Totally.
But I was wondering, is there anything that when we like talked about doing this podcast, one thing you said is really important to you is living a successful and meaningful life. Could you expand on that a little bit and what does that mean to you? I know you talked about at the end of the day being like, did I work for this? Did I do that? But is there anything else that kind of plays in a
Yeah.
what that success and meaningful life means for you?
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think a big thing that people should focus on is kind of the perspective of life too. Because yes, at the end of the day, it's a harsh reality. Like we're all going to end up in the same place. So
Yeah, it's true.
I'm trying to
It's
think of
true.
the best way to phrase that without
Uh-huh.
being so. But
Yeah.
now you have a few ways of like you have whatever way of deciding how you want to view that. But for me
Mm-hmm.
personally, I found that best way is to kind of like give an impact and also live a life to its fullest capacity. Because at the end of the day, even though you may feel unlucky, you're also super, super fortunate to be
Mm-hmm.
able to experience these emotions, and even reflect right now, like what we're doing right now, being able to reflect on those things is just an amazing capacity that you have. So switching that perspective into like, okay, I want to be as successful as I can be or living life as I possibly can has been such a huge motivator for me. And it's brought me a lot of happiness. It's brought me a lot of joy. It's allowed me to do what I do today. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that's kind of the reason why I say successful and meaningful life, so that you can become the best version of yourself. And then on top of that, you can leave a lasting impact for the people around you too. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I would definitely conclude. That for sure.
Uh-huh. Do you feel like when you are in the personal training space, do you feel like you're living that, or what is kind of your I've achieved that
Hmm.
meaningful life, or what would be that benchmark? Because to me, I feel like you are living in that, and that's already something that you act out daily.
Ever since I made the jump from my old position to what I'm doing right now, absolutely. Like
Mm-hmm.
every single
Yeah.
day I feel that.
Mm-hmm.
And that is a good indication to me that I'm in a path. It may not be the right path because paths can always change. But at least for right
Yeah.
now, I'm on a path that allows me to feel that way. And that's a good sign that I'm headed in the right direction to lead a successful and meaningful life. And nothing's guaranteed, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm an econ major, so you can statistically improve your chances.
Uh,
You can
uh-huh.
statistically improve your chances in the right direction. If you,
If
you
we're
know,
gonna throw facts,
yeah,
yep.
you can
uh,
you can make the average smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller till you're as close as you possibly can be, but never perfect because perfection doesn't
mm-hmm.
exist. But you can work on that your entire life, and I think that's a great
Mm-hmm.
goal of mine, to just make sure that I'm leading a successful, meaningful life, using the
Mm-hmm.
energy capacity that I have at whatever stage in life I may be in, youth right now, or middle age, or at older ages too. Like as
Hmm.
I'm using the energy that and my capabilities in the fullest capacity that I can, having an impact on people. I think that's a great
Yeah.
mindset that I've adopted.
Hmm. I know with like working out, there is that piece of consistency and discipline that you have to have. But we also talked about like there's realities, there's bad days, there's life sometimes.
Hmm.
How do you, for yourself and for your clients, stay motivated and disciplined to kind of and implement that? Like, okay, is it a rest day because I'm having a bad day, or is it a bad day so I'm going to the gym? Kind of.
Yeah. That is a lot of, I've realized over time, like self-evaluation and um going back to some more economic principles. There's like
Yeah.
the 60
Uh-huh.
40 rules, or like your investment portfolio, you want to be like some risky, some not risky. So
Hmm.
if you think about it for like consistency and discipline, you want to be consistent most of the time so that you are trending in the right direction, but you have moments where you're like, okay, I need to rest. I need to go on vacation. I
Mm.
need to be able to enjoy this food with my friends, or enjoy a drink with my family, or something like that, or sit down and enjoy a party, or even take a break to enjoy like maybe a small achievement that um over a specific set of time, or you achieved a goal. Like I think
Hmm.
finding a balance between your consistency and, your work or going to the gym or whatever it may be for you, something that's like hard to do. I think finding a good time to sit back and relax a little bit so that you can go back to it even better is super super important. That's something that I did. Like literally last week I took what's called a deload week, and
Hmm.
basically I cut my workouts and my sets and my reps in half, and instead of 6 times I went 3 times,
Mm.
and
Yeah.
I barely even like set foot in the gym, and kind of
Yeah.
just reset
Uh-huh.
my brain. And I went
Uh-huh.
surfing on Saturday, then on Sunday I went surfing, and then hiking right after. So
Very Santa Barbara
yeah,
coded of you.
yeah,
Yeah.
I know, it's very
Uh-huh.
on brand. And
Yeah.
anyway, I was like, I I got to enjoy my body to the fullest capacity and
Hmm.
enjoy what I fully worked for, because I was like, oh wow, I'm able to still surf, hike, this, jump, run, all that good stuff,
Yeah.
because of all of the consistency and discipline that I've had. So I think finding those moments where you can be like, okay, am I not going to the gym because I'm lazy, or am I not going to the gym or working because I'm like break or to reset? Um,
Hmm.
Finding that is kind of like a self actualization and self internalization process that you kind of have to become familiar with over time with your body too. So
Yeah, for sure.
something important to pay attention to.
Yeah. It's so important to pay attention to and also to like not beat yourself up for it. Because I feel like so many people they get in that spiral of like, well, I missed one day, like it's over kind of thing. And I saw
Yeah.
this like stupid, not stupid, it was a TikTok, but it was like someone who they like spilt a little bit of their coffee and then they just like threw the coffee cup. And they were
Oh
like kind of
man.
trying to mimic that. They were trying to like mimic that, like if something goes a little wrong, like you don't just like throw in the towel, like with
Yeah.
also like building your habits too. And so it was a cool like analogy, I guess, or like
Yeah.
depiction of like sometimes you spill a little coffee, but like you still have the whole cup of coffee there. Like just you wipe up the little
Totally.
bit that spilled kind of thing. I was wondering, we talked a little bit about maybe 17-year-old you knew this is kind of maybe where you'd end up, where you'd be. Is there anything that you think you would be shocked about if you could sit down, have coffee with 16-year-old Michael about what you're doing now?
For sure. I think the switch from something as like the switch from stability to finding stability in instability would
Mm,
be
yeah.
something kind of shocking to old Michael for sure. Because like when
Mm-hmm.
when you're young and in the situation that I was born and raised in, yes, I was in Santa Barbara, super fortunate, super thankful, but kind of get a perspective switch from the conditions that I was living in, regardless of anything, and also my father's perspective too, in a third world country.
Mm-hmm.
Coming from a third world country, you kind of get that perspective shock, and you're like, okay, I want to avoid certain things at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Uh-huh.
And I think the most important thing that 17-year-old Michael could take from 24-year-old Michael right now is that when you go into a state of instability, if you have the right consistency and mindset about what you're about to do, that state of instability will allow for more stability because you'll be able to really dial in your schedule, dial in the fact that there's no other way for you to earn a living other than what's in front of you right now.
Yeah.
And that kind of like backed into a corner idea is what helped me flourish in a sense. Like, okay, I quit my job. I have a big truck payment coming up here soon.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do? Like, I have some
Yeah.
savings. I'm fine enough, but eventually those things will go away. So like backing yourself into a position where it's like, okay, it's either sink or swim has been, like I said, going from instability to providing maybe a little bit of stability, mental, like mental health,
Yeah.
physical health, and eventually like financial health. It's good.
Yeah.
It all kind of develops and develops forward, which is nice. But
Yeah.
17-year-old Mike will be like, nah, man, you got to stay econ major all the
You're
way.
like, what'd you do?
Like, what are
Why'd
you
quit
doing,
your
dude? What are you
job?
doing? Yeah. And honestly, like, there's been
Right.
times where I question myself to this day. I'm like, am I on the right path? Am I on the right path? But I think having that capability to reflect and then look back and analyze what the position you were in and what you are doing today is a very, very important skill to have.
Yeah.
It
No,
helps
absolutely.
a lot to compare those two.
Uh-huh. And I also feel like that's so normal of a 24-year-old situation, or just like 20s in general, is so much of that. Like, but I think you're doing it to the best of your ability of just being an opportunist. What is out there? Let me not find myself in a position where when I'm 45, I don't even like what I'm doing anymore. Because
Totally.
there is, especially in the age we live in, there's so many opportunities and so many resources available for people. It is just, unfortunately, sometimes you get backed into that corner and you're like, all right, what do we do?
Yep. How are you going to pay the bills? I
Uh-huh.
know.
Yep. You're Googling side hustles, but I feel like, especially in California, I feel like every person I've met has like two or three side hustles going on, like
Yeah.
X, Y, and Z, just because they're like, why not? What, there's other things out there, like why would I not try it? And then if it turns into something, cool. If not, I'll switch to something else and new.
Exactly.
And I think that's, yeah, that's something that I think is really cool to see, especially in the California culture. But
Totally.
I wanted to know, is there anything that you have coming up, or any projects, goals, things that you're like, this year I'd love to do this,
Yeah.
XYZ?
So for me, I like to set birthday resolutions rather than New Year's resolutions because that gives me like a real
Yeah.
stark sense of time.
Yeah, right.
Especially when I'm like coming towards my birthday, I'm like, shoot, did I do everything that I wanted to from 24 to 25? And I'm doing a decent job. I think nobody can ever do
Yeah.
like a perfect job, but I think having something to strive for is really good. So for me, I would love to own some sort of either personal training facility or a fitness, like a gym in general. So that's something I'll be constantly working towards, providing like some sort of space for anyone and everyone to kind of like work out and train, to their best version of themselves would be awesome. Working on my social media presence, which is awesome. I started live streaming a while back, switched more into like fitness centered stuff. So that would be cool if I can keep doing that. Oh yeah, just keep striving every single day to provide the best training possible for my clients and making sure that I'm keeping up to date with science and keeping up to date with any like, trends or things that like are I could find important, useful for my clients. Finding ways to continually elevate their workouts or make sure that they're progressing properly would be awesome. So yeah, those are definitely some of my main goals. And then also, like I said, just enjoy every single minute and every day and be present, especially with like friends and family too, because that's the real kicker. Those things aren't forever. So
There's a trend going around right now that's like, silly me, I forgot that this is the point, and it's people with their friends, with their families, at the beach, like doing the like relaxing, those things. So it's definitely good to have both. But I saw someone do 30 before 30, like bucket list, I guess, kind of for
Sick.
the birthdays. And so I'm like, oh, should I do a 25 before 25 one? I'm like, make a little like
I feel like I
check mark check,
scare the
but
life out of me because maybe I missed so many things.
no, I'm like, but I feel like they could even be like easy. Someone I saw was like, get up at 5 a.m. for a week, like just like small, I'm like, hey, I think it's cool. Like
Yeah,
we stopped making bucket lists in like middle school, and I think we should bring them back.
I think yeah,
But
I'm here for it. I'm here for it.
yeah, I'm gonna be sending you a text. I'm like, Michael,
Yeah,
I made the list.
5 a.m.
But
No, 5 a.m. is
I
not as the
know,
bottom of the list for me.
yeah, that one would also probably be on the bottom of my
That's a
list.
big thing too. Like, you know how I think we were talking about staying consistent and finding what works for
Hmm.
you. Some people can train at 5 a.m. Some
Yeah.
people cannot train at 5 a.m. It's literally what's gonna keep you on pace. It's
Uh
like
huh.
me, I need 8 hours, a full meal in the morning,
Yeah. I'm
and
like,
I need
I
to
need at
train
least
at
3 hours.
let me train at like
Uh-huh.
12 before I'm awake and
Yeah.
alive so I can get the most out of my workout too. So
No,
yeah.
it's so true. One of my friends, I used to work out with her in college, and we were like, let's try it, the morning grind, we can do it. And every morning it would be like, so are you awake? Should we go? Or should we just go tonight? Let's just
Yeah,
go tonight.
I know, it's
But it's like,
straight up.
like whatever works,
As long as you made it in, that's the number one thing.
Exactly. That's what we're like. We're still here.
Yeah,
Who cares if it's 7 a.m. or 7 p.m.? But I have like a couple little rapid fire questions, and then
let's
I'll
do
have
it.
one more big question to wrap us up. But I want to know, do you prefer, I mean, I guess we kind of just said morning or evening workout.
Evening if I have to.
uh,
Midday is good. Evening if I have to, but it's mostly
yeah.
yeah,
So ideally, we're shooting for like the middle of the afternoon
yeah,
or
yeah.
midday. Yeah.
After my
Um,
siesta, no, just
yeah.
kidding.
You have a 2 hour nap in the morning, and then
Oh
we're
man,
working. Do you have a favorite post workout and pre workout meal?
pre-workout definitely as much of my carbohydrate intake as I can get in before. So for my macros, I have a set amount of carbohydrates. I'll try to do maybe like 75% of them so that I have a really solid workout, good pump, have enough energy and focus, especially for those like main tasks, but then saving some of them afterwards for that initial like glucose and glycogen spike replacement. Also to
Mm-hmm.
kind of start the fire for protein synthesis too for your muscle tissue. So like
Yeah.
beforehand, let's say it'll be a protein shake, and then it depends on how long I train before. If it's a 30 minutes beforehand, I don't want to throw up and feel
Mm-hmm.
nasty.
Yeah.
So
Uh-huh.
something like protein shake and like a banana and another fruit, like an apple or something like that would be a good. But if I have a bunch of time, I'll wake up in the morning, eat like a bunch of rice. I think I had graham crackers the other day before my work. You had
Yeah.
graham crackers and some gummy worms.
Uh-huh.
And
Are you like a
then
Rice Krispie guy? Like
I
I feel
used
like
to
people
be. I
always
used to be.
throw Rice Krispies
Yeah,
in there.
I
I'm like,
used to be for
what?
sure.
But
My friend Alvin, I have a very stark memory of him and I going to the
yeah.
gym. He'd open the back of his car in college and we'd go into the gym and there'd just be a big old Costco box of like Rice Krispies. He's like, "You want one?" I'm
Yeah.
like, "Dude, do I?"
Yeah. You're like, it's like a little snack.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a little
absolutely.
breather. It's a little breather.
Uh-huh.
So yeah,
That's awesome.
it depends. And then post workout, super heavy protein. I love Greek yogurt right now. Greek yogurt and honey and berries, stupid simple, super
Hmm.
nutritious, full with some veggies and stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
those are kind of like my on-brand fitness trainer meals, off-brand non-fitness trainer meals. Man,
Yep.
I love all foods are a friend of mine. So
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Fair.
yeah.
So fair. Do you have a song that's always on your gym playlist that gets you hype every time you need to work out?
This is gonna be kind of cliche, but I love it because it has so many memories. If it ever comes on, I kind of just leave it. But
Hmm.
it's called Legend by Zis, I think it is. Zyzz.
Oh, I don't know if I know that one.
You might have heard it
Like,
because
oh my, do I know that?
it's like a super heavy meme song, but at the same time it was one of
Mm,
those. It's like a hard style song that my friend Alvin and I, whenever we go to the gym, we'd
yeah.
like blast. Or me and my friend Alvin and one of my old friends Will, we'd all be in the car together and just blast that song or work out. It was a
So it
blast.
works.
Yeah, it works.
works.
It works. It works. It also brings up good memories too, and that
Yeah.
kind of helps you work out a little bit more.
For sure. I know you said your mom, brother, friends, huge influences, huge part of your lives. What's one word you think, let's say we'll go with your mom and your brother, one word they would use to describe you?
To describe me, man, all this
Yeah.
self-reflection. I don't like all this. No, I was kidding. um, for my mom, she would describe me as like, I would say disciplined for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And my brother would say driven, disciplined and driven. Yeah, my mom would
Yeah.
definitely say disciplined right now, just because sees like consistency, me tracking my meal. My brother would say driven, just because he looks to me for a lot of inspiration to drive and better. Can be a good and a bad thing too, because each person is different. Find what works best for you. Stay motivated. So, but that's what I would say.
Nice. And then favorite sport to play, just for fun.
I love soccer. I used to play it all the time when I was a kid. I don't play it too much anymore, but most fun I ever have is like you're at the beach or at a park or a random place and you're not playing for like competitiveness. You're playing just for like the love of the game. And people are tossing skill moves all around. People are doing weird headers and playing with soul, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
That's when it's really that's when it's the most fun. I also love surfing and snowboarding, all different types of sports. I think that's a paintball mask. This is some goggles for snowboarding. So it kind of depends what we're doing.
Yeah, no, I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And then our last big question, what is one piece of advice you would leave to somebody who is on the cusp maybe of starting their own like fitness journey and hasn't really maybe made that crossover yet to like, this is something I want to make a habit in my life?
The one thing I tell every single one of my clients is that the hardest part of anything is just getting started. And once you kind of dip your big toe in and get that momentum and that feeling that you're doing something that's really going to benefit you and consistent over time, that's my biggest piece of advice. Don't wait. Don't hesitate on starting something that you want to go after. And I know I don't know if it's said often or it's not said often enough, but like starting is the hardest part. Procrastination, your procrastination is what is causing you stress. So the more you put something off, the more stressed about it you're going to get. So start on something, even if it's just for like half an hour to 5 minutes a day, start on it. And then that will build over time and kind of relieve some of your stress and pressure and anxiety about whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish.
Yeah, that's awesome. Well, thank you, Michael, so much for coming and chatting with me. I appreciated it.
Of course.
I appreciated getting to know you, and I'm super excited to share your story with others.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a blast. I'm gonna have to interview you next time.
We'll switch. We'll switch it.
I love it. Thank you guys so much for having me too. I appreciate it. Hopefully you enjoyed. Alana is an amazing host. She's an amazing person. So make sure you guys.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Keep up with her awesome journey.
Thanks, Michael. I appreciate it.
Yeah.